Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are setting up my December 2021 bullet journal. This month's theme is one that I've been wanting to do pretty much since last December, and it is the little gnomes that you typically see in holiday decor this time of year. I wanted to do this for some time, and the doodles themselves are so simple and easy to do, so I thought this would be the perfect theme for this December. Rather than using your typical holiday colors like red and green, I thought I would go with an icicle blue and a very pale pink. I see this a lot in Scandinavian decor, and a lot of my own decorations are white and gray rather than red and green, so this fits with my personality quite well. And for all of the lettering this month, I'm just using my alphabet stamps. They have that typewriter look to them, you see them a lot, but any materials that you see me using in this video are all linked below. I do incorporate a quote this month. I didn't use it last month in my November setup, but I wanted to use this for December, as a lot of us will either be going home for the holidays or seeing family over the holidays. I thought what better quote to use than "There's no place like gnome." Moving on is my monthly setup for December. As you can already tell, I am straying from my normal 6x6 squares and keeping this calendar just to one page. I'll put in a couple big holidays and trips and major events for the month. I'll just have to write smaller than I'm used to, but that's why I have these fine tip pens. The size of these squares are 4x6. And of course, I have lots of washi tape that needed to be utilized, so I brought out a couple colors that matched with my theme and use it throughout my setup. This next page is just one giant to-do list, because as I'm sure all of you can relate, there's just a lot of stuff to do in the month of December, and the more room for my to-do list, the better. And before moving on, I just have to make sure I include a couple more of my little gnome doodles. I couldn't do this theme without having a mood board. There is so much inspiration out there that it was easy to find a couple pics that showcased the inspiration for my gnomes. It was actually hard to limit the amount of pictures that I chose for this mood board, but I like how this turned out. This 2021, I did incorporate a lot of mood boards into my spreads, and I think that it's one of my favorite additions to my setups this year. And I do have a confession. I don't know if any of you watching are the same way, but I pretty much start listening to Christmas music the day after Halloween. I have so many playlists that I just put on repeat. My car is on the Christmas station for a solid 2 months, so of course I had to incorporate a holiday music playlist with some of my favorites by some of my lo-fi faves, which include Last Christmas by Ashley Jones, Winter Wonderland by McKenna Williams, Oh Holy Night by Mel and Macy, Carol of the Bells by Caroline Pennell, and This Christmas by Tor, and a few others as well. but I will be sure to add a link to the playlist below. These next spreads are purely for packing lists. I do have 3 trips planned during the month of December. One for work, one for personal, and one is just a trip to visit family over the holidays. So I will need 3 different lists. My trip for the holidays will need to be much bigger because Christmas gifts will be involved, which is why it gets its own page. But I will take a step back and just let you enjoy some of the music while I create these spread. Moving on are my planning pages for next year and next month. I will be moving into a new journal for 2022, so I will need to plan my layout for that as well as my January layout. So I figured I would just use these 2 pages to map that out and help me figure out what I'd like to do for next year. And I will admit I still haven't figured it out, but hopefully these 2 pages will help me. This is my first weekly spread of the month. It's one that I do almost every month. I've done it so many times that it doesn't take me any time at all to complete. It's very useful for when I don't have a lot either going on personally or my to-do list is just smaller than normal. And in this case, I will be away most of the week for work, so a smaller weekly spread will work just fine. This is actually 2 weeks of weekly spreads, 1 week per page with a symmetrical layout. I did find inspiration for this spread on Instagram, so I will link the account below if you'd like to check out more of their Bujo layouts. But I really liked this. I actually used it last month for one of my weekly spreads, but I thought I would film myself doing it this month just so you can see what it would look like, but it is a really fun layout. I highly recommend giving it a try. It was easy to do, and it allowed me to incorporate both my gnome doodles, my washi tape, as well as more color, as you'll see coming up when I put in the days of the week. But before we flip through my December setup, I just want to remind you to subscribe to my channel. That way you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And here is my December 2021 bullet journal setup. Thanks again for joining me today. Until next time.